Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here, and I'm on the FTOG Rails and Pipes pack, and it's time for one of those milestones in modded Minecraft that I really do like. And that is getting creative flight. Now, because extra utilities is in the pack, I'm going to go ahead and make the angel ring. And to do that, the golden lasso is a fantastic little beastie. So you can do it again. Yep. You can sit there really cheaply, you know, plus 8 levels. You get the golden lasso, and you need 4 of them. Or at least 2. You can reuse them. But in this case, got a chicken in here, some iron and feathers, resonating redstone crystals, which you can craft. If you make this little glass cutter and an ender pearl, you get 8 of those shards, and you can, you know, do it. But I actually got that through the redstone mining that I did. And this gives me the chicken wing ring. And I have a hard time saying that. And you get the lasso back. Then, and this one, see that little bar there? Here, I'm going to take this and move my wing charm out, because if you hold, oh, I've got the jump boots, but you get that little bar there of flight. Now I've got the multi-jump boots, and so they're constantly doing stuff, but it'll gives you a little bit of feather fall effect, you know, kind of chicken-like, which is very handy. But you know, you just skip that real quick, and you get the ring of the flying squid. And that's pretty cheap. It requires finding a squid. That was the last one I got, and kind of a pain to get there, but you know, okay. This one is similar to my multi-jump boots in that, as long as you hold the up button, you keep going up. So now the question is, can I get my charm out before I hit the ground? Nope. Ouch. Let me get my charm out. Actually, I don't really need that anymore. But let's go down here, because that one is very handy in the net. Actually, here, let me show you what's really handy in the nether. Wing charm and the flying squid, because you fly up really high where you want to go. And that gives you quite a lot of loft. And then as soon as you fall 6, the charm kicks in. And now you can go a goodly distance, and then you can push yourself up a little higher. It's almost creative flight. No, it's not quite, because you do fall. Here, let me get down here. If I crouch, I actually go lower. So that's really useful. Combined with the wing charm, that's really, really useful. But let's go ahead and bump that all the way up to the angel ring, which gives you full and complete creative flight. Let's move this completely out. And now I've got complete creative flight. Oh, I love that. Oh, it's such a nice stage, because it makes coming in here and doing things like, okay, let me clear that out. And do I want to clear out some of these other marble and other things and make it just pure stone? Maybe. But I can do that so much easier now than before. Anyway, let's come in here. I'm going to snag my lassos out of here. And we'll break this. I've gotten very, very hesitant to break anything with my axe, because it's got the excavation on it. So if I break something right next to my wood, it will, or could, very easily chew up a bunch of that. And in the little time lapse when I was making this, I broke the back half of my building with my axe, because that's just fun to do, evidently. Let's go ahead and move that there. Let's pull this guy out and do a repair on him. There we go. Because, you know, repair everything you can. And it is very, very handy to have that flight, because that allows me to get places in a good amount of speed. Let's see if we can take this and move into the use it if I need to sort of thing. And this bobbles one of these. You know, Okay, so it's one of those. I really want the ring of magnetization to do its thing. Although I do like the band of aura because that makes my band of mana slowly recharge. I don't know. We'll just go with this. Oh, but flight is very nice. Means I can get up here and I can check, make sure things are working on my fan and or windmill. I heard that if snow falls on the top and actually makes a snow layer, it stops it, which is very freaky. I'd never seen that, but I guess if you've got a light source like these torches close enough, you wouldn't ever get to the snow to land. This is a too warm of an area, so that shouldn't be an issue. Let's confirm Featherfall. Yes. So very nice. Now I have a whole lot less of a problem exploring the Nether because I can fly around and get things done that way. Oh, I just really love that. So getting to that state, let's take ring off because if I look at my ring, here, let's fly. There. And we look at my ring, it says that it uses 32 GP, which stands for grid power, because it's on the very next line. And I've got a 32 being used from this ring out of 64 that I have currently being generated. So, one of the things that is worth doing, here, we'll just sleep because that's always nice, is getting some good GP power. This guy here is the manual mill, and if we take a look at the recipe for that, polished stone, that's just any sort of stone that's been turned into bricks or whatnot, and 4 of those together you get polished stone. 2 of those plus the resonating crystal and this redstone gear. These are just torches around wood. That's pretty cheap. That makes the manual mill. And you can just right click it and it'll generate power for you. And I'm touching nothing. It just will continually power that unless I move off of it. So that's very handy because I typically make a stack of stuff out of that. Now, I put that on top of my resonator, and I typically have it, up above where I can see it. But this resonator is where you take that polished stone, you put it in there, and it becomes stone burnt. And I'll take the manual mill, put it on top of it or next to it, let it run, go off, do some stuff, come back. I've got a stack of the stone burnt. Because the stone burnt, I use some of that to make this water mill, plus some more of these gears and whatnots. And then I excavate out an area and I set it up. See, I still use the ladders even though I've got flight, because that's just kind of how I go. I set up an area where I can use these water mills. So I put that down in here. And so this is a 5x5 area broken out. And these glowstones in the corner, that's where the source blocks of water are, kind of in an X shape. So source block, nothing, source block, nothing, source block. And also in the other direction, because these water mills will generate power for the strength of the water flowing next to each side. And since that's a source block here, that's a max water flow right here. If it were further away, you'd get less water or less power being generated. In fact, here, let's grab the bucket, suck out that front one there. Now it's generating 14 because that's the max. That's down 1, that's down 2. So it's doing less. Put that back in place, and now it's generating 60. So this is the structure I like. There's plenty of other structures you can set up for generating your GP, but that I like. There are other mills where it takes lava, not lava, but fire, and generates power from that. When I finally kill the ender dragon, get the dragon egg, I will put the mill right in front top of this water, and that'll generate 500, which is plenty of power. But at this point I don't need it. I think these are the only extra utility things I've done at this point, but there are some upgrades and whatnot that can be done. All right, one other thing that I found, and this is also extra utilities, an ender lily. I was breaking some seeds and got one of those, and I'm going, yay, because as that slowly grows, it will make for me the ender pearls. Yes, not ender seeds, ender pearls, because I only have a few. In fact, let's see, how many do I have left? Why are you not in there? Where? Oh, it's in my mob thing. So, there, I have 4. I just used one, I have 4. That's it. All right, so I love being able to get flight. One of the things, that little thing there looks like a water and ice dispenser. That's the upgrade. That means it will constantly create ice for me if I'm going to do any food that requires snow or ice. But if we also look in here, I have done some crafting. These things have always stayed up here, and I've left them there because they're fun max tier foods. And I was looking at the thankful dinner and saying, yeah, I would like some of that. And if we look at the recipe for it, it needs all sorts of different things. A veg of some sort and really doesn't care. Everything else is the same except for the rotating cooked turkey or cooked tofurkey, whichever you want to go. The turkey, you have to catch that. The tofurkey you can create. In fact, let's take a look. The raw tofurkey. This one you can. Well, that came out of nowhere. Firm tofu, some cooking oil, and you can make the tofurkey. Well, I've got turkey, and the way I got that is I made a ground trap and I put some bait into it, and oh wow, look at all that turkey and some raw duck, which is cool because there's lots of ducks about. Although this is weird, raw chicken. I haven't seen any chicken, so I don't know where the chicken's coming from, but I definitely have seen duck. Anyway, so what I've been doing is I've been coming over to here. This is my soybean area. Grab some soybeans. Hello, Roxy. Welcome to the desk.
I think she heard you talking about turkey.
Well, I think that may be it. But you eat ducks. You don't eat turkey. Anyway, right underneath my sink, just hard to see, and there's this tiny little gap where I can access it, is the presser from Pam's Harvest Craft. And I'll put in here my soybeans, and that will slowly press them. No power needed, which is very nice. It will slowly press them into silken tofu and grain bait. And the grain bait I pull out and put into the trap and get stuff. Let's down a little bit more. So the next thing is you can do is once this is all processed, you can take the silken tofu and push it through, and that makes firm tofu and gives you soy milk, which, put them in here. You can see I've been doing some of this in the meantime. This can get you access to soy milk, which you can use in any recipe that calls for milk. Firm tofu is pretty much anything you want to use to fake meat. But anyway, I've got all these bits. So cooked turkey, the sweet potato pie, dough, sweet potatoes, marshmallows, ground cinnamon. Well, ground cinnamon's up from on the tree. I found sweet potato. I actually bought that from my right there, the market, hiding underneath my crafting table. And let's get back here. Oh, marshmallows. Marshmallows was an egg or honey sugar water, and so I made some of those. Mashed potatoes is salt, which you can make here through the Pams. Buttered potatoes, just butter and a baked potato, and butter is either heavy cream, milk, or silken tofu and salt. Toast, that's just bread and butter. Again, you can do butter. And cranberry jelly, sugar with some sort of cranberry of multiple types. And so I've got those. That's enough for 8. Let's come in here. Sort by hunger restored. Thankful dinner. Click. Oh, I shouldn't have done it because it made it with double corn. Doesn't matter. But now I've got the top tier food. I've been also making bibimbap because that's the second top that I've got. I have to figure out what's missing for gumbo because I had been eating a bunch of gumbo, and I think that was 9 instead of 8, and that was really, really tasty. All right, let's look up gumbo. Chicken gumbo. Maybe because I don't have any chicken. That's a possibility. Okay, so raw chicken, okra, stock. Oh, I think I'm out of stock is what it is. I've got everything else. Any sort of spice in here. Definitely okra. So let's make some stock real quick. stock. Oh, no, don't use soybeans. I'm using soybeans for other things. There we go. Oh, meat stock, veg stock, cycle. There we go. Whatever. We'll go ahead and put that, since it's been crafted as something. You can see I've made some heavy cream and some fresh milk from my cow, which has been very, very nice. One of the things that, let's do cream. It will also do it from the fresh milk, which you can take regular milk and make 4 of the fresh milks. So why not do that? It multiplies it very nicely. Anyway, there's plenty of heavy cream that I've been using for making mashed potatoes. All right, so enough of that. I'm going to put this food away since I've got some bibimbap, and that's really delicious stuff. If you haven't had it before, you really should. It's Korean. You go to a Korean restaurant and you order the bibimbap, and it will come in a stone bowl that has been heated up. Right, Roxy? Has it been heated up? Yes, it has. It's so hot you can hear the food in it sizzling. And that actually puts a crust on the rice at the bottom, but you stir it all up, and that heat will cook the vegetables in there. You can add a little spice if you want some, hot sauce on there.
Man.
Oh yeah, it's a good red spice, very tasty. And then you stir it all up and eat it, and it quite often has a lightly fried egg on top. But you stir it all in, and again, everything cooks because the bowl is so freaking hot. And the funny thing is, you go to a Mexican restaurant, and they will bring out your food, and they'll warn you, careful, the plates are hot. But what's the very first thing you do? You touch it to see how hot the plate is. And most of the time, it's just kind of, it's not all that hot. When the bibimbap comes out, and it's sizzling loudly, they don't say, watch out, the bowl is hot.
Because they assume you're not stupid.
Exactly. They're assuming you're not stupid because you can hear it is flaming hot.
If you touch that thing, you deserve the burn you get.
Oh, yeah. And we went to a Korean place like 2 weeks ago, and Niece the Duck Farmer had a soup. And it was in one of those stone bowls, and it was bubbling all the way around the edges. And again, yeah, you looked at it and you said, holy cow, that would be hot. Anyway, bibimbap, delicious stuff. Well worth trying once. Oh, flight. I love it. I love it so much. I've been thinking this needs to go up 1 block. It just doesn't quite look like it's floating enough because it's too low. It needs to be a little bit higher. And I can do that right now because it's so much easier because I've got flight. All right, I'm going to do a few things to move things around just because I want to. I spent a bunch of time in the Nether at my farm there and got a whole bunch of good resources. And with the fun of being able to fly, I did a random teleport and got some friends. Yep, got 2 cats. Okay, that took 2 trips. And a parrot. One parrot actually flew into a cactus and died, and I was going, why, you dumb bird? Why'd you do that? Anyway, I got some pets here, made some little tables so they could stand and have something to do there. But one of the things that I did is I went ahead and I spent a bunch of time getting these extra weird drops to make these fragments. And let's make all of those. And what you really want to do is make a group of 6 of each of those. So, I just realized I had, nope, wrong one, this one. I only have 5 of those. There, now we got 6, because I just made the 6th one. If you do this and that, and then you can put this in place, and now I've got a charm that will protect me against wither skeletons, magma cubes, zombies, blazes, and they're so annoying because they shoot me from like 50 gazillion miles away. Skeletons. Okay, there were only 5. I didn't need 6 because I can math very easily. And then if you make 5 extra, and yeah, blaze was the easiest one for me to make, you can make this charm belt. And then if you right click it, you can add these various charms to it. And then we take a look at the bubbles, and now it's on my bubble, and oh, you can't see it. Okay, here, let's take all this off. Now you can see it right there. All right. There, now you can see the belt. I has me a belt for all these charms, for all these different mobs, and I will slowly accumulate them. It means that you're invisible to those mobs, which is great, especially creepers, because they're annoying. But it also means that if you kill one, you will damage the belt. Because, you know, you're yes, because reasons. I was trying to invent a reason as to why, but because. There's the answer. Anyway, I'm glad to have that. I like having, you know, I like being safe. That's why I have the armor. I have the peace candle back there. I do that because I don't want to have problems. Because safety third. Anyway, this has been Grok the Duck Farmer here, having too much fun in the FTOG Rails and Pipes pack. And thanks for watching. Bye.